What is up, my fellow Chibits? Today I'm here to bring all of you my weekly anime review of Gundam Iron Blood Orphan with this episode. Oh my god, you know what? Let's just say right now, the funeral scene, emotional, very emotional. Like, a lot of this episode of Gundam was very, very emotional. And I have to hand it to Gundam for being able to use, like, I guess the theme, the atmosphere, and the emotions of the watchers to be able to make such a great episode. Because, for one, seeing how the death of the brother, it was not just finished or kind of, like, settled at the end of last week's episode, but it was actually carried over into this episode, and the brother wasn't, in fact, dead yet. It made the overall scene so much more impactful to me, because seeing these two brothers finally meet up after such a long time, and when you see the brother trying to make a point to his older brother, like, this is what human debris is, this is where we die in space, and when the brother tries to talk about how he'll be reborn and stuff, it was a very emotional scene. And usually anime would tend to kind of not do something like that, because you don't know how many anime I have watched or seen that will have something like what happened in last week's episode, but then they don't ever carry over into the next episode, like right at the beginning, showing the brother, you know, dying right in front of his other brother, and then, you know, saying their final words. You don't usually get to see that. It was like a very different style of death that is not normal from other anime, and I hope some of you actually understand where I'm going with that. But for one, though, seeing how the brother, he was just trying to make a point, and then the other one was making a point, and he passed on, it's just sad. It was overall just so sad, and I felt like it suited the overall theme of the episode, because the theme of the episode was moving on, or letting go, and a funeral. And it was something that really caught me by surprise when I found out that so many of our characters don't even know what a funeral is. Like, some of them were like, wait, what's a funeral? What are we doing? Like, you know, why should we do this? I mean, there's just so many asking those questions, and it makes you wonder, like, oh my god, so it just goes to show you how different, you know, space is, or how human debris is, you know, I guess, taken care of when they're in space and they die. It really goes to show you the overall world perspective of how the world works in Gundam when you see people not even knowing what a funeral is. And then on top of that, when you see the stuff like what was going on throughout the episode with, like, for instance, the fireworks, like, you know, how Tekadon, you know, means like the flower that don't wilt and stuff, and you see how the flower wilted and disappeared in front of them, I wonder if that was somewhat symbolic for the future, like foreshadowing something very bad for the future, and something might happen to Tekadon. And then we had multiple death flags throughout the entire episode for a lot of characters, which I was like, oh my god, that's not good, because I think about 3, maybe 4 characters actually got some death flags in this episode. So yeah, Mika, he's had this weird personality. I mentioned it at the start of the series when it first started. I remember mentioning that the way he just straight up shot an old man like that was in mid-conversation, it was just savage and cold-hearted. And I said that just goes to show you what type of character we have. But then it gets, once again, kind of thrown into our face that Mika, there's something wrong with him. He's starting to enjoy the art of killing men, because he gets that question said to him, or it was told to him in this episode where, like, you must enjoy the, you know, killing men, and Mika was just enjoying himself while he was fighting the entire time. So Mika is turning into a murderer, or a killer, and I wonder exactly how this is really going to affect his character in the future if he enjoys doing stuff like that. I mean, is he going to eventually turn on his, you know, his own family? Is he going to just, you know, go after other people? I'm very curious, because if he likes that, that's pretty damn scary. And also seeing on top of it of how, you know, we know he's a little bit different or messed up or warped in the mind because of what he did earlier on in the series, and then seeing this, I wonder what type of role that is going to play in the future. But, I mean, that's about it. I mean, the episode overall, there was pieces here and there, like a couple character deaths to sadness, tragedy, and a lot of emotions throughout the entire episode. And I can't help but say that Gundam continues to get better. And it's shocking how it does, but it is getting better. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.